Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JD Moonin. I kind of was watching a video this morning about Jim Carrey, and he was on, I would assume, the red carpet. He was talking about a few different things he was doing, and people are not understanding it. As a matter of fact, some people were making fun of it. Some people are calling him crazy and this, that, and the other thing, or Jim Carrey's lost his marbles. No, he hasn't. As a matter of fact, he figured out what the great sages, what Alan Watts, Siramana figured out, and what the great disciple figured out when the guru finally helped him to understand that Ping Ting comes for fire. Okay, so I want to start this video off with this quote from Alan Watts, and then I want to show you guys a little bit of what Jim Carrey was saying, and we're going to go ahead and process a little bit on that and have some of our own thinking on that. So here's the quote. What I'm really saying is that you don't need to do anything, because if you see yourself in the correct way, you are all as much extraordinary phenomenon of nature as trees, clouds, the patterns in running water, the flickering of fire, the arrangement of the stars, and from in the form of a galaxy. You are all just like that, and there is nothing wrong with you at all. Okay? Meaning that you are that. Okay? And so we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that. Let's go ahead and let's hear what Jim Carrey has to say, so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here.
There's no meaning to any of this, so I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're celebrating.
I mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry, you're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't. Is
that an accident?
I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream.
Just things happening. And there are clusters of tetrahedrons moving around together.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's happening in our world right now? Because there is a lot of news that actually is relevant that's not that
Here's
uplifting.
the thing. It's not our world.
None
That's
of this
the
is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the good news.
Oh!
I love it. So it's very simple. So you don't really matter. And I think that once people start to realize that we don't really matter, it doesn't matter if we destroy ourselves, none of that matters. Then people can finally start to wake up and realize that I am all of this around me. There is no difference than you, than me. All you is, or me, or I, or mine is a way of describing something. That's all it is. It's just a way of speech. No different. Nothing different. You're not that. You are not this I. You are not really that. All you are saying when you say I is you're describing the body. And the body is all of this. So your mind is not separate from this. You are not really breathing. Okay? That is breathing. That is pumping its heart. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Are you following me here? You are not separate from that heartbeat or the breath or the thought processes going in your mind. You are all of that. You are that. There is no difference. You are not separate from it. Okay? Just like you are not separate from the world in which we are. We are this world. Okay, just as much as we are this universe. We are not separate from the universe. We are not separate from the earth that we live on. We were not put here. We come from here. There is that common misconception that people think we are this orphan thing. We are put here. We are not put here. We came from here. That's why we can't find any way of showing that we were put here. Okay? Because we came from here. We grow from here, much like an apple grows from an apple tree. Okay? Or a green bean. Okay? Or corn. You know, the flower is not separate from the plant. Just as the same way the roots are not separate from the flower. You see what I'm saying? The flower, the stalk, and the roots are all the same thing. It's the plant. It is the process. And you are just as much as the process as I am part of the process. Okay? But see, you and I are not separate. That they are just describing. Okay, that's all they're doing. They're describing the two separate entities that we think we are. Okay? And we get the illusion that we are separate from those things because we can get up and walk around, unlike a plant. Okay? But is the plant really separate from the field? You know, I love the line that's brought up that states, if you cut the field from the flower, does the flower still exist? Well, no, because if the field wouldn't have been there, the flower couldn't have been there. Okay, same as, you know, if the flower wasn't there, then the field couldn't have been there. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be a field without the flower, okay? See, if you don't have the plants there, then it's no longer a field. Now what you're seeing is you're seeing a plot of dirt, okay? So I want to go on, and I want to kind of leave you guys with a couple of things, and hopefully that, and hope that you will take from it and learn from it what I have over the time in the course of my studying it. And I'm not going to stop studying it. I'm going to continue studying it. As a matter of fact, when I'm fully done with this book, I will go ahead and give you guys a full-on study of the book. So here we go. This is a funny little thing out of here. When his disciples approached the great Hindu sage Sri Ramana and asked Guru, "Who was I in my last carnation?" he would answer, "Who wants to know?" And the same question is then when they ask Guru, "How does one attain liberation?" he would reply, "Who wants to obtain?" Who is this thing that wants to obtain? Or who is this person or this thing that thinks that they need to know who they were in their last incarnation? Who is asking the question? That is what it comes down to. Okay? Who is asking the question? Because we know the question's there. But who are you? That's what you need to be figuring out. And see, we think that we know who we are because we live under the illusion that who or I or me is real. It's not. It's a way of speech. That's all it is. It is a way of speech. That's it. You are the feeling, the emotion, the experience, all of that. You are that. And what's funny is all of those things are not separate from each other. They're all happening at the same time. So when you're having the experience, the emotion, and the feeling, it's all happening simultaneously together. There's no difference between any of it. It's all happening at that same time. Okay? And so the final thing that I want to leave you with is when I finally had my realization of the koan. Okay? And I want you to figure out what koan is. You look that up. I'm not going to look it up for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So there's a story of a disciple who comes to a new Buddhist temple, okay? And there's a guru there. And so the guru comes up and he's pressing the disciple. And he says to the disciple, he goes, so I hear you come from a separate master. And he goes, yeah. But I have no questions. And he goes, you have no questions? And he said, yeah. And so the guru then says, well, what did the master teach you? He goes, well, when I went up to the master and I asked him what the fundamental reason is for Buddhism, the master then said, well, painting comes from fire. And then the new master goes, oh, what a great answer. I bet you didn't understand it. And he goes, well, no, I did. I got it. Well, yeah, I understand it. He goes, so what that really means is that since Ping Ting comes for fire, that means that since I'm a Buddha already, if I was to go looking for Buddha, I have no further questions because I already am Buddha. And then the guru looks at him and goes, I knew it. You didn't understand it. I knew it. You didn't get the point. And then the disciple then goes, well, if I didn't get then what does Ping Ting come for? What does Ping Ting come for fire mean? And he goes, well, you asked the question. He said, you asked me. And he goes, okay, well, what's the fundamental reason of Buddhism? What's the fundamental principle of Buddhism? What is it? And the guru looks at him and goes, well, Ping Ting comes for fire. And at that point, the disciple understood. He got the point. And I had my awakening when I finally understood that. Okay? And when you finally understand that Ping Ting comes for fire, you'll have no further questions. You'll understand. At this point, it's just learning. It's just knowing more. For me. That's all it is. I don't have any questions. I know who I am. What I am. And I'm not separate from that what. I am that what. I'm living that question. And so when I get up in the morning, I know I'm not separate from the universe that peopled me.